of, man, one of the biggest events around, especially in the natural product space. And it's been an eventful day here today, not only meeting with brands, talking with founders, owners, people who are, look, they're hustlers, they're business owners, they're trying to create for themselves, for others, for their families, for their mission, their message, all that. And actually, Gary Vee kicked off a keynote this morning. And in typical Gary style, he's talking about social media and marketing and interest marketing versus social media. And what he kind of hit a little bit that I think a lot of people really missed was Gary's culture piece. And it just, this talks my language. This aligns with all that other stuff is fantastic. But for me, this was my wheelhouse because it's talking about, look, showing up real and authentic in your life and in your business, and how you have to embody that. And man, this is fantastic because here's the disconnect. And in fact, a lot of these brands are feeling the disconnection because everybody in here wants to be natural and clean and good for you, healthy, all that. And when you dive into some of the ingredients, you'll find that for a lot of them, that's just not the case. Seed oils, natural flavors, zero sugar, but yet it's got some pretty big sweeteners in there. And that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the messaging is a bit disconnected. And where, in talking with a lot of founders and business owners and leaders, is they're okay with that. They're okay with not embodying. They're okay with saying one thing but doing the other. And I really think with the age of robots and AI, that what is coming down the pipe is you can't use fancy marketing or fancy packaging and mixed messaging to distract and confuse consumers anymore, because AI is going to be able to call that out. We're going to very quickly be able to expose people who are sharing misinformation, or just, I don't say misinformation, but just not being totally clear and transparent in what they are selling, what they're marketing. And so, I don't know. I'm not trying to predict anything, but I just feel that there is something like that is coming down the line. So what that means is we need to show up as authentic in how we're communicating and how we're leading people, and that's both at home and in business, because that's the other thing that comes to mind. And that is, look, if you're an owner, if you're a founder, you're whatever, small business owner, executive, hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for jumping in. And you're saying, hey, I'm here to take care of my people. I build fantastic cultures. I'm a strong communicator. We're all family. And then you go home and you light up your spouse and you're screaming and yelling at your kids because you had a long day and you're frustrated and you're tired. There's a disconnect there. That's not embodying what you're saying at the office. And so I don't think it's what am I trying to say? It's no coincidence that you have maybe a brand that is communicating, hey, this is who we are, and we're healthy, and we're good for you, and yet they're kind of hiding some ingredients because they can, because of rules and regulations allow them to do that. That maybe there is some culture issues going on in the business, or maybe the leaders get disconnected. Maybe he or she are going through a divorce or challenges in relationships or not connecting with their kids. It's like it all kind of runs together. And what I will say is, look, hey, if you want to be someone who's deceptive, if you want to hurt people, if you not want to be someone who owns up to your word, has standards for yourself, for your business, like, that's your prerogative. You are more than welcome to do that. However, you also just know that that's who you are, and that's hard for people. Want to be liked, they want to be good people, they want to do well, and yet they're willing to be disingenuous, not be truly in alignment with what they're saying with other people. So anyway, I just want to jump on here real quick because there's a lot of business going on, and whether it's coming from a place of authenticity, but just being real and raw and just showing up and saying, hey, I'm a small brand. I don't know where the heck things are going, and I want to make a difference. But we have to embody these things. We can't just talk about it. We can't use fancy marketing to lead people in directions that aren't real. Even if that means we got to spend a bit more money. Even if that means it takes a little bit longer. We want to do right by ourselves. Let me say this, and I'll end with this. How we show up in that regard is a true reflection of us. So it mirrors back. And it always comes back to the mirror. All right? Your results are reflecting back to you. So how you show up in situations such as this is a reflection of you. So if you are being deceptive in your language, if you are not embodying the things that you're saying, that's a reflection of you, not reflection of the marketplace or others. So to lead means to go first. Over and over again, I say this. To lead means to go first. Not that I said it. I've got that from somebody along the lines. But I just want to remind you, to lead means to go first. You have to do it first before you can see it exist outside of you. You have to show up real and authentic before you want to move the needle. So jumping in as a brand who's maybe coming to the Natural Product Expo, and you're like, hey, I want to be like this brand, and I feel like we can create a better name or a better marketing pitch. But we're going to slide in things that aren't very healthy for you because they're a cheap ingredient, and we can increase our profit, increase our margins because we can add in ingredients that are cheaper, but maybe not good for our end users. And again, if that's who you are, like, hey, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. It is your objective, your priority, your prerogative to be able to do that. But man, don't come out and say that you're doing good for people and doing right by others if you're not doing right by yourself, and you yourself are doing right first. So it all comes back to the mirror. Let's create a culture of people that are living. They are applying and demonstrating what they're preaching, what they're talking about. And this is the epitome of it. So much of it is information. Everyone's talking info. Very few are applying it and demonstrating. They say they're doing clean. They say they want to be healthy, and yet they themselves are not healthy. They're not taking care of their own bodies. And I see it. I see many, many people who are working these booths, who are working for these companies that are claiming to be health brands, and they themselves are not healthy. That's a disconnect and misalignment there. So you got to take care of you first. You got to do you first, and then stepping into that realm, embodying it. So applying it, demonstrating it yourself, that's where we see the transformation come. It may take a little bit longer, but nonetheless. So anyway, thanks for jumping in for just a quick 9 minutes here at Natural Product Expo West. I just had a chance to cruise around today and just want to share some insight, some feedback. Take care, buddy. See you next time.